Yeah, so this is our last day officially of camp. We'll transition into West Virginia tomorrow. We've started to kind of cut back the time at practice and some of the reps because it's been a tough physical camp to make sure that when we come, to West Virginia week, that our guys feel really good. Sometimes that becomes challenging because you got some bumps and bruises, so it reduces the numbers. But we will switch to West Virginia. We will go to scout teams starting tomorrow morning's walkthrough, D squads. And then tomorrow's practice will be West Virginia, what we call kind of a bonus Wednesday practice. And then Thursday we'll have our Fast Thursday rehearsal, our No Sweat Thursday. And then Friday will be our Fast Friday rehearsal. And then Saturday we'll have a developmental squad scrimmage in the stadium with West Virginia looks, with the coaches in the booth, the whole thing. So very similar to what we've done in the past. And then we'll get into, I think Saturday we practice early in the morning because I wanted the guys to have the whole day off to watch college football and go from there. And then we'll get into our normal game week.
James, back at the press conference and media day, you mentioned Tamir Robinson as being someone who jumped out from day one. We're 3 weeks into it now. What was the body of work like for him this August?
Really good. He got sick for a couple days, missed a couple days of practice, lost a few pounds. But overall, I would say we're very, very pleased with where he is. I think he'll have a significant role on special teams, and I think he'll have a much more expanded role on defense. I also could see him be one of those guys that plays a good amount early in the season, and by the midpoint of the season is playing a lot for us.
James, you said earlier about Jalen Williams at guard. Is that the normal thing where you teach guys both positions, or is that a change?
No, it's like I said, we try to create as much flexibility with our offensive linemen as possible and move them around to as many spots so that we can evaluate them and see if they have a chance to help. Some guys have only played tackle and you put them at guard and they're not comfortable there. Some guys latch onto it very quickly, and he did some nice things. So it's really just what we've done in the past.
James, piggybacking off of Daniel's question about Drew, in what ways have you seen him grow and evolve as a person? Because obviously you guys have known him for a long time, just from then to now. In what ways have you kind of seen him grow and develop?
Yeah, he just, I don't think it's anything I'm going to say that is dramatic. He's really done everything right. He's always been a really good preparation guy in terms of being in the building, studying the installs, watching a ton of tape, asking great questions. Him and Bo are really good like that. So it's not like it's one thing. When you keep punching the clock and keep doing the right things, you get better and you gain confidence, you gain experience, the game starts to slow down for you. And I think it's all of that. I think it's his work in the offseason. He's changed his body. He's lost about 10 pounds. I think he's running better, moving better. So it's just kind of like total development in every area. He's just gotten a little bit better because the way he works, the way he prepares, and the way he trains. And was voted by his peers as well as all the coaches and the staff as a captain because of how we all see he handles his business. Total respect within our program.
James, have you made decisions on green lights yet? And does the opener at a non-conference allow you to carry more kids and maybe go deeper with some of the young?
Yeah, so as you guys know, the non-conference travel's 80, so that helps. We did have some conversations yesterday, but we're not done with them, so I'll let you guys know as soon as we've talked to all the guys about where they're at. There's still some conversations that have to happen tonight and tomorrow morning, but I think being at 80 will help. And then we're also talking about taking a bus the morning of to let all those guys, it's a close enough game to allow the whole roster to travel, which would be great because as you can imagine, it's going to be our 250 versus their 70,000 or whatever the number may be. So I think that'll be good. But I think for the most part, the conversations between the players and their position coaches, they had a pretty good idea where they were. I do think it's changed, right? The 4 games changes things. When you're talking about possibility of playing 9 games this year and still redshirt, I mean, that's dramatic. So if you can be strategic, like I'll give you a perfect example. You use Quentin and Corey really as like one person, right? You play one guy in one game, you play another guy in another game, and you kind of spread that out throughout the season. Those guys are able to play in 4 games each and then all of the postseason and save their eligibility. You know, I think some of them would like to say, I'm a green light from an ego standpoint, but until we're forced to make that decision, why not maximize the 4 games? And then once the decision's been forced, why a bump or a bruise or a helmet breaks and somebody's got to go in, let's be strategic as we possibly can. You know, I know Jordan Hill visited with the first-year guys the other day, and one of the things he talked about is, you know, he ended up playing as a true freshman. At first was on the D squad, kept doing a great job on the D squad. They moved him up, and then he talked about, you know, his senior year where he got drafted and where he would have got drafted if he would have redshirted and came back for his, you know, redshirt senior year. Probably would have got drafted at least a round higher. So just taking all these things into consideration, where are they going to be most valuable for Penn State in their careers, and where are they going to be most valuable for themselves as well?
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Coach.